Dana Holton. I'm Director of Sales and Marketing and a Realtor here at Miller & Company. Today I'm going to discuss service animals and companion animals. Service animals are animals that help people with disabilities. For example, helping a guide person that is blind. Companion animals offer emotional support to people who suffer from issues like anxiety and depression. The Fair Housing Act is a federal law that recognizes the importance of service and companion animals. This law is designed to enforce these two items. It prevents landlords from discriminating against people with disabilities, and it requires landlords to make reasonable accommodations for people with disabilities in certain cases. Are all landlords required to follow the Fair Housing Act? And the answer is no. Some small landlords do not have to follow the Fair Housing Act. For example, a landlord that owns fewer than 4 rental units and does not use a broker or a real estate agent. Also, what is a reasonable accommodation? A reasonable accommodation is a change in rules or services that allow a person with a disability to use and enjoy their home just like anyone else would. Here are some examples of reasonable accommodations. Allowing a tenant to install a wheelchair ramp to their apartment. Also giving a disabled tenant a reserved parking space, even though spaces are normally first come, first serve. And allowing a blind tenant to have a guide dog, even though the lease does not allow pets. Another question may be, can a resident have more than one assistance animal? And the answer is they may. If the resident's handicap causes more than one daily life function to be extremely limited, each limited function may need a different animal to assist them. For example, a resident may have an emotional support animal to help with anxiety and a service dog to guide them because they are blind. If more than one animal is helping for the same disability, it is unlikely to be a reasonable accommodation. What information are you allowed to verify with medical professionals? And the answer is you're able to verify that the animal has a connection with the resident's handicap. Also, how long they will need the animal for. And that the resident meets the definition of handicapped as defined by the Fair Housing Act. And that the medical professional treats the resident personally themselves. Another question may be, what should you do if the medical professional that signed the accommodation request won't speak with you? If the specific medical professional that signed the request either refuses to answer questions or fails to accept or return your calls, provide the resident with the no decision letter. Also, can you restrict breed, size, and weight of assistance animals? And the answer is no. The only exception to this rule is wild animals. And last, can the landlord increase rent or charge a pet deposit for service or companion animals? Usually not. However, the tenant is still responsible for any damage caused by the animal. The landlord can even evict if the tenant fails to pay for damages caused by the service or companion animal. Or if the animal bothers other tenants or the tenant fails to clean up after it. Keep in mind that the landlord may not ask a tenant or applicant to provide documentation showing the disability or disability-related need for an assistance animal if the disability is readily apparent.